life in a high rise can make you hungry. You know I didn't even know her name. Oh, she wants a young American. Young American.
The Beatles were storming America, Motown was on fire, and Dylan had just plugged in. The music world was exploding with innovation. But not every song that mattered came from a superstar. Some were lightning in a bottle, brief, brilliant flashes that lit up the charts and then vanished. This list isn't about the artists who dominated the decade. It's about the ones who gave us one unforgettable track and then faded into pop history's dusty corners. One-hit wonders? Maybe. But in 1965, these songs were essential listening. We're talking jukebox gold, AM radio staples, and summer anthems that once had the whole country singing along, then disappeared like smoke. These are the voices that visited us once and left a mark. So let's wind the clock back 60 years and rediscover 10 forgotten one-hit wonders from 1965.
So you win again, you win again, here I stand again.
Number 1, Love Rollercoaster, Ohio Players. Love Rollercoaster hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in January 1976, bringing the funk with a scream heard round the world. The track opens with a searing guitar riff and a slinky bass line that sets the mood for mayhem. But it's that blood-curdling scream in the middle of the song that launched 1,000 rumors. Was it a murder caught on tape? A studio prank? The mystery added to its legend. Formed in Dayton, Ohio, the band already had a rep for horn-heavy, groove-driven soul, but this song took them mainstream. The track appears on their album Honey, which, true to its name, was smooth and sticky with hits. Though often remembered by die-hard funk fans, Love Rollercoaster doesn't get the rotation it deserves today, despite a 1996 Red Hot Chili Peppers cover that reintroduced it to a new generation. It's fun, it's funky, and it definitely deserves a replay.
Let me ride one more time.
Number 2, Afternoon Delight, Starland Vocal Band.
And when it's right, why wait until the middle of a cold, dark night?
A cheeky ode to daytime passion, Afternoon Delight soared to number 1 in July 1976. Its harmonies were silky, its tone flirtatious, and its subject matter, well, let's just say it raised eyebrows. Co-written by Bill Danoff, who helped craft Take Me Home, Country Roads, the track was delivered with sugary vocals and acoustic finesse. Despite its innocent sound, the lyrics left little to the imagination. At a time when radio was becoming more adventurous, Afternoon Delight was the perfect mix of safe and suggestive. It earned a Grammy for Best Arrangement and even landed the group their own short-lived TV variety show.
Started out this morning feeling so polite, I always thought a fish could not be caught who didn't bite.
Still, they never had another hit of the same scale. Though it resurged in pop culture thanks to films like Anchorman, it rarely makes modern playlists. One-hit wonder, maybe, but it was one glorious hit that lit up a summer.
Sky rockets in flight, afternoon delight.
Number 3, December 1963, Oh, What a Night, The Four Seasons.
As I remember what a night.
This track was a disco-pop curveball for the Four Seasons. Released late in 1975, it peaked at number 1 in March 1976. Gone were the doo-wop harmonies of the 60s, in came syncopated beats and synth flourishes. Originally written as a nostalgic look back at the repeal of Prohibition, producer Bob Gaudio, also a band member, and his co-writer Judy Parker pivoted the lyrics to focus on a young man's first romantic experience. It worked. The result? A cheeky, danceable anthem with a falsetto that could melt walls.
Sweet surrender, what a night.
Though it had a decent chart life, it rarely features in retrospective documentaries or classic rock roundups today. Which is a shame, because this was one of the freshest reinventions of a legacy act in the 70s.
You know I didn't even know her name.
Number 4, Song Sung Blue, Neil Diamond.
Song sung blue.
Though originally a 1972 hit, Neil Diamond's live version of Song Sung Blue recharted in 1976, reminding fans why his croon was so beloved. A gentle waltz built on a simple two-chord progression. The song was inspired by Mozart's Piano Concerto No. 21 and reached number 1 in its original release.
Everybody knows one.
But the 1976 live version captured something else: Diamond's charisma. He bantered with audiences, let them sing along, and wrapped his booming voice around the lyrics like a warm blanket. At a time when glam and punk were rising, Diamond's easy-listening sincerity was out of step. But for those who needed comfort, he was perfect.
Song sung blue, weeping like a willow.
While many remember his louder anthems like Sweet Caroline, this one quietly lives in the hearts of those who appreciate its simplicity.
Weeping like a willow, weeping like a willow.
Number 5, Car Wash, Royce.
Well, let me tell you, it's better than digging a ditch.
Built for a movie about working-class hustle, Car Wash was Royce's breakout hit. Written and produced by Norman Whitfield of Motown fame, the song hit number 1 in October 1976 and became an unlikely anthem.
Come on and sing it with me, car wash. Sing it with the feeling now.
The beat is pure disco, the lyrics are tongue-in-cheek, and Gwen Dickey's vocals are as fresh as suds on a windshield. The track was laid down in just a few takes, and the band didn't expect much from it. But the movie's unexpected success gave the single major exposure.
There ain't no telling who you might be. A movie star, or maybe even a...
It even helped launch Royce into further hits like Wishing on a Star and I Want to Get Next to You. Still, Car Wash stands alone as a funky celebration of the everyday grind. It's cheerful, funky, and forgotten far too often.
Just emptiness and memories of what we had before.
Number 6, So You Win Again, Hot Chocolate.
I know we've made them fall, but only fools.
This one's a bit of a cheat. It hit number 1 in the UK, but only managed number 31 in the US. Still, Hot Chocolate's bittersweet soul ballad, So You Win Again, deserves more American love.
And just for fun, took my love and run. Love had just begun.
Written by Russ Ballard and delivered in Errol Brown's aching croon, the song tells of a man resigned to losing the one he loves. It was a departure from the band's earlier, more upbeat hits like You Sexy Thing. Instead, this was all heart and heartbreak.
You win again, here I stand again.
The orchestration builds slowly, the background vocals swell, and Brown never overplays it. It's classy, polished, and underrated. In a world of breakup bangers, this one whispers where others scream.
I'm the fool who won your love to lose it all.
Number 7, Play That Funky Music, Wild Cherry.
Play that funky music right.
Play That Funky Music was born from a heckle. Wild Cherry was a rock band playing clubs when a fan shouted, "Play some funky music, white boy." Rather than get mad, frontman Rob Parissi turned the line into a hook.
Lay down the boogie and play that funky music till you die.
The result? A number 1 hit in September 1976 that mashed rock and funk into something irresistible. That crunchy guitar riff, those horns, and that iconic chorus made it a dance floor staple.
Oh, DJ, gonna play some electric music.
But Wild Cherry never matched its success. The band faded, but this track remains immortal at weddings, karaoke bars, and retro nights. Still, in official lists and documentaries, it doesn't always make the cut. It should, because this song is funky music, and it slaps.
It wasn't easy.
Number 8, Torn Between Two Lovers, Mary McGregor.
It's when a woman has to say what's on her mind.
A song about infidelity that became a hit? Yep, Torn Between Two Lovers climbed to number 1 in December 1976, thanks to its gentle melody and Mary McGregor's aching sincerity.
And say these words as gently as I can.
Written by Peter Yarrow of Peter, Paul, and Mary, the lyrics are confessional, almost diary-like. MacGregor sings of emotional paralysis with heartbreaking vulnerability. "I'm not trying to hurt either one of you," she pleads.
Before I say another word, let me tell you, I love you.
It resonated, maybe too much. The song was banned on a few conservative radio stations, but that didn't stop its climb. Today, it lives in soft rock obscurity, overshadowed by bolder breakup anthems. But few songs handle guilt this gracefully.
There's been another man that I've needed and I've loved.
Number 9, Rock Your Baby, George McCrae. Though technically released in 1974, Rock Your Baby continued to chart in international markets through 1976 thanks to the disco explosion. Its influence? Massive. Many consider it one of the first true disco hits. Produced by Harry Wayne Casey and Richard Finch, later of Casey and the Sunshine Band, it featured a drum machine, smooth falsetto, and seductive groove. McCrae reportedly recorded it in less than an hour, but the vibe was undeniable. It hit number 1 in 51 countries. Yet, in American retrospectives, it's often left out, which is odd, because without this song, much of 70s disco wouldn't exist. It was the sound of a genre being born. Number 10, Young Americans, David Bowie. Bowie's Young Americans barely cracked the top 30 in 1976, but its influence is seismic. Bowie called the sound plastic soul, mixing R&B rhythms with his art rock edge.
They pulled in just behind the bridge, he lays her down.
Featuring backup vocals from a then-unknown Luther Vandross, the track tackles themes of disillusionment, fame, and identity. "Do you remember your President Nixon?" Bowie asks, mid-funk. It was Bowie's reinvention yet again. Goodbye Ziggy, Hello Soul Man. The song came alive on stage, where Bowie used it as a centerpiece in his '76 tour, often changing lyrics to reflect the city he was in. Critically revered but commercially modest, Young Americans is now seen as pivotal. But back then, it was overlooked.
He kissed the diamond there, she took his ring, took his babies.
Number 11, Dreamweaver, Gary Wright.
I have just closed my eyes again.
Dreamweaver is a soft rock spaceship to the subconscious. When it peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 in March 1976, it was one of the first big hits to use synthesizers almost exclusively. Wright, who was once part of the band Spooky Tooth, was inspired by a book by Paramahansa Yogananda and a dreamlike, transcendental experience. The lyrics reflect a desire to escape, to float beyond earthly worries. The layered synths and cosmic tone made it sound like nothing else on the radio at the time. Some listeners believed it was about death and ascending to heaven, though Wright claimed it was more metaphorical.
Java, take away my worries of today.
Dreamweaver later got a pop culture boost in Wayne's World, but it's still not cited as often as it should be when people talk about pioneering electronic pop. Yet it paved the way for artists to experiment with dreamscapes in music. Number 12, More Than a Feeling, Boston.
I woke up this morning and the sun was gone.
This might surprise you. More Than a Feeling still gets airplay on classic rock stations, but it's rarely discussed with the reverence it deserves. It debuted in September 1976 and peaked at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100. What's wild is how fresh it still sounds today. The song was famously recorded in Tom Scholz's basement over 5 years. The clean, shimmering guitar tone became a blueprint for arena rock, while Brad Delp's vocals soared with emotion and precision. The song captures nostalgia in its purest musical form, thinking of a lost love when a favorite song comes on the radio. Despite being massively successful, Boston was viewed by some critics as too polished. But listeners didn't care. This song captured the heart of the 70s rock spirit. It's the anthem that quietly shaped modern rock's DNA. Number 13, right back where we started from Maxine, Nightingale. A blast of upbeat soul with disco flair, right back where we started from reached number 2 in May 1976. British singer Maxine Nightingale wasn't even sure she wanted to record it, but once she did, it became a transatlantic smash. The track is pure joy, horns blare, drums pulse, and Nightingale delivers a bright, breezy vocal about rekindled love. It quickly became a roller rink favorite in the US and was later featured in multiple films, including Slapshot and Starsky and Hutch. It was one of those songs that lifted moods instantly, but it never quite got the long-term recognition it earned. Nightingale had a few minor hits afterward, but this was her moment, and it deserves to be celebrated all over again. Number 14, Lowdown, Boz Scaggs.
I'm hanging with the crowd, putting your business in the street and talking out loud.
Boz Scaggs' Lowdown was a slow burner. It started off as an album cut from Silk Degrees until DJs in Cleveland began spinning it. Columbia Records took notice, released it as a single, and it climbed to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 by late 1976.
Nothing you ain't got. Put your money on the table.
Lowdown is a masterclass in cool, with silky electric piano licks, a jazz-infused groove, and laid-back vocals. It blurred the lines between soft rock, funk, and blue-eyed soul. Scaggs didn't overplay it, he let the song glide.
Turn a maybe to a yes. Same old schoolboy game.
The track won a Grammy for Best R&B Song in 1977, which surprised many since Scaggs wasn't considered an R&B artist. But that's what made Lowdown special. It didn't fit into a neat genre box, and that gave it its edge. Today, it's often overshadowed by other soft rock of the era, but it's as smooth as ever.
Saying you bought her this and that. How much she done spent? I swear she must believe.
Number 15, Fly Away, John Denver with Olivia Newton-John.
All of her days have gone soft and cloudy.
A dream duet, Fly Away, paired 2 of the 70s most beloved voices, John Denver and Olivia Newton-John. Released in January 1976, it reached number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song tells of yearning to escape the city's chaos and return to a simpler, freer life.
All of her nights have gone sad and shady.
Denver's earnest vocals were complemented by Newton-John's delicate harmonies, creating an atmosphere of peaceful longing. The song fit right in with Denver's nature-loving aesthetic and came at a time when environmentalism and back-to-the-land ideals were bubbling in pop culture. While both artists had bigger hits, this collaboration was quietly profound. It's not often mentioned among their greatest songs, but it captures a unique, gentle magic that many fans still hold close.
Life in the city can make you crazy.
And there you have it, 15 forgotten gems from 1976, each a flash of brilliance that once filled dance floors, car radios, and hearts. Some topped the charts, others barely cracked the top 40, but all were part of the rich musical mosaic of their time.
Everybody knows one.
It's easy to remember the giants, the era-defining blockbusters, but sometimes beauty hides in the footnotes. These songs remind us that history isn't just shaped by what endures, it's also colored by what we choose to revisit.
Song sung blue.
So dust off that old vinyl, revisit that dusty mixtape, give these tracks another spin. Whether forgotten or not, they still matter. 1976 had a lot to say. We just need to lean in and listen.